Some of that instability and some of that concern, state and non-state actors, very much pertains to the Mideast.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you could kind of just walk us through the big picture on the Mideast. It seems that perhaps more unstable than ever. We have legacy in Iraq of what looks to be kind of dissolution in some regards. Iran's effort to get a nuclear weapon. Syria demands and desires for the U.S. to have some kind of role there. We're just not sure how to untangle that role. And yet, at the same time, very firm commitments to an ally in the region, Israel. The big picture on the forces that are shaping your decisions and your thinking on the Mideast.
Yeah, so the Middle East, and let me include in that probably North Africa, Mideast, North Africa. Three things I would suggest to you. One is a changed relationship between the governed and the governing. So I think books will be written for the next several years about what is this thing that we kind of optimistically described as the Arab Spring several years ago. And it's many things, but it's certainly the relieving of pressure that was being brought to bear by dictators on societies that had been suppressed for many, many decades. And so you have a changed relationship between the governed and the governing among a populace that doesn't know what to do with it, frankly. And so I think it's a bit naive to think that in the first generation of that change, we would move somehow from dictatorship to democracy, certainly, but maybe not even all the way to representative government.
Blue thumbs of the first
voting,
notwithstanding.
Look, it's a step, but it's a step. So it's a changed relationship between the governed and the governing that I think will take, a decade or more to finally settle. Secondly, it's being played out in an environment where there's somewhat of an internal struggle within Islam for control. And it gets at the Sunni-Shia schism. It's a fault line, and right now the fault line runs from Beirut to Damascus to Baghdad. And players on both sides are trying to influence the actions in their favor. And then the third factor is what that creates is ungoverned space. Or if not ungoverned, governed less than we would like it to be governed. And in that ungoverned space migrates extremists. So you've got this changed relationship between the governed and the governing, this internal conflict within Islam, in some cases which is more prominent than in others, but it's prominent throughout the region. And then that Arab Spring was hijacked in many ways by these extremist organizations on both sides of that Sunni-Shia schism. And it makes for a very volatile, complex, long-term challenge.